So today I want to talk about Kendradhipathi Dosha. So what is the meaning of Kendradhipathi? Kendra means the angles 1, 4, 7 and 10 as highlighted here. The first house, the fourth house, the seventh house and the 10th house. The angles are the action houses. Here planets gain strength. So whenever planets are placed in 1, 4, 7, 10, they gain more strength, and those planets are a large part of your personality. Let's say you have a Jupiter in the fourth house, then you have a Jupiter personality. Let's say you have Saturn in the seventh house, then you have a more Saturnian personality because Saturn is aspecting your ascendant. But any planet in the ascendant or fourth or seventh or tenth will have an impact on your personality because these are the planets you'll be using more, you'll be acting more. Let's say you have Mars in 10th, then you are a very action oriented person. So the planets in the angles are very important. But let's say you have a moon in the 10th house and the moon is a full moon. Now the moon is a very gentle planet, but the 10th house is a house of action and getting things done. Moon is not a planet of action. The benefits generally are very easy going and they want things to be done in a gentle way, not the arrogant or dominating way like Mars or Saturn. So whenever the angles are occupied by benefics, then it gives rise to something called Kendradhipathi Dosha. Because the angles need the dominance and we cannot say malefic, the more harsh nature of the malefics like Saturn and Mars and Sun and Rahu Ketu to give the results. Let's say you are running a business and you are not competitive, then your business will get failed. Such is the impact of benefics in the angles 1, 4, 7, 10. Now let us say you have Aries ascendant. Which planets will give rise to Kendradhipathi Dosha for you? Mars in the first house will not give because the first house is both an angle and a trine. The trines are 1, 5 and 9. The angles are 1, 4, 7, 10. So the important thing with the first house is it's both a Kendra and a Trikona. So the Kendradhipathi Dosha will not apply when benefics are there in first house also. So let us consider the fourth house for Aries ascendant. Moon is there. Let's say moon is there. Moon is waxing. Now this will give rise to Kendradhipathi Dosh. Let's say Venus is in 7th house. This will again give rise to Kendradhipathi Dosh. That is why many Aries ascendants who have Venus in 7th, they have more than one marriage because it is like too much of good thing. You have too much of good thing, then that house gets destroyed. Let's say Saturn is in 10th house or Mars is in 10th house. Now Kendradhipathi Dosh will not happen because Mars and Saturn are natural malefics. So for Aries ascendant, when Venus or Moon is in 4th, 7th or 10th, there is a possibility of getting Kendradhipathi Dosh. Let's say for Taurus ascendant, first house, let's say Venus is there, it can give rise to Kendradhipathi Dosh, but since Venus is a Lagna Lord, it is acting as a trinal Lord also. So the dosha will not be applicable here. Let's say Sun is in here, 4th house. Again the dosha will not be there because Sun is a natural malefic. Let's say Mars is in 7th, again the dosha will not be there. Let's say Saturn is in 10th, again the dosha will not be there because Saturn and Sun and Mars are natural malefics. Let's say for Gemini ascendant. Now Gemini and Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces, these 4 dual ascendants have the most probability for Kendradhipathi Dosh because all the angles are ruled by benefics for these ascendants. That is why these dual ascendants have trouble in life, because they're always dual minded about everything, about their personalities, dual minded, their home life is often changing, their partnerships are always changing, they have more than one marriage, and their career is also always changing. They want to try different things because Mercury and Jupiter are curious planets and they want knowledge and learning. So they want to move to the next thing rather than sticking to one thing. For Gemini ascendant, when Mercury is in 4th house, 7th, or 10th, there can be Kendradhipathi Dosh, mainly when it is in the 4th house. And when Jupiter is in 7th or 10th, then again it will give rise to the dosh. And then let's say for Virgo ascendant, Mercury in the 10th or 4th or 7th will give rise to the dosh. Or when Jupiter is in 4th or 7th or 10th, it can give rise to the Kendradhipathi Dosh. Let's say for Sagittarius ascendant, Jupiter in 10th will cause Kendradhipathi Dosh, in the 4th as well as in the 7th. Likewise, Mercury in 4th, 7th or 10th. These places, Mercury or Jupiter will give rise to Kendradhipathi Dosh. Similarly for Pisces, Jupiter in 10th or 4th or 7th, or Mercury in 4 or 7 or 10. So what is the effect of this dosh? Let's say you are a Pisces ascendant and Mercury is strong here in 7th house. Now this is a very strong house, 7th house, and Mercury being a benefic there will cause Kendradhipathi Dosh. The result is there is a possibility of more than one marriage or even two marriages. More than two marriages, because Mercury becomes Lord of 7th, it is also in the 7th. So it is going to cause trouble there. Generally benefics, when they are Lord of the angles, they tend to do more damage. That is why benefics should rule trinal houses 5 and 9 if they are ruling the angles also. Let's say for Aquarius ascendant, Venus is ruling the 4th house, but it is also ruling the 9th house. So Venus does not have that much Kendradhipathi Dosh for Aquarius, because it is ruling also the 9th house. Whereas for Pisces, Mercury is ruling the 4th and the 7th, both are angles. So there is no trinal lordship. Let's say you are Cancer ascendant, then the presence of Venus in 4th house would give rise to Kendradhipathi Dosh. Saturn in 7th would not cause, because it is a natural malefic, and Mars in 10th again would not cause Kendradhipathi Dosh because it is a natural malefic. For Leo ascendant, Venus in the 10th house again can cause Kendradhipathi Dosh. Saturn in 7th won't cause, neither Mars in 4th would cause Kendradhipathi Dosh. Virgo we already discussed. Let's say Libra ascendant, Moon is in 10th house and it is waxing, then the Kendradhipathi Dosh can apply. Also, when in case of Moon, if it is waning, the Kendradhipathi Dosh is less, because waning Moon is a malefic. So it tends to do well as an angular lord in that case. Even for Aries ascendant, if the Moon is waning and in the 4th house, then the dosha is less. Let's say you are for Libra we have to discuss about Mars in the 7th, it does not constitute dosha, and Saturn in 4th also would not constitute dosha. Generally for Chara Lagna, only Moon will be capable of causing and Venus would be causing it. Let's say you are a Scorpio ascendant, 1st house there is no dosha, 4th house Saturn won't cause, but Venus in the 7th would again cause. This is similar to Aries ascendant, where Venus was in the 7th causing Kendradhipathi Dosh. Here also the Venus has the lordship of 7th. For Mars related ascendant, Aries and Scorpio, Venus in 7th causes lot of marital troubles. If Venus is in the 7th and empowered, it will cause more than one marriage. And Sun is in the 10th house, it will not cause any dosha. And Sagittarius we already discussed. Capricorn, when waxing Moon is in the 7th, it will cause dosha. But Mars in the 4th will not cause, because it is natural malefic, and Saturn won't cause. Venus, when it is alone in the 10th house, then it can cause professional difficulties. A good example is for Virgo ascendant, Mercury in the 10th I have seen, it is in own sign. The person is well educated but does not have a job for so many years because the Kendradhipathi Dosha is working in the 10th house. Whichever house the dosha is found, that sort of problems will be found. If it is in the 7th, marital problems. If it is in the 4th, related to education. And if it is in the 10th, again related to the profession. So the benefic results where we expect the planet to do well, it does not do. But one exception is when the planet is joined with some other malefics, then it tends to do well. Let's say for Sagittarius ascendant, Mercury is in the 10th exalted, it is with also Sun, and say it is with Venus, then it gives good results. So the planet must be with some other planet to give the good results, preferably malefics, because malefics tend to act well in the angles. Even though malefics in angles can damage the character of the person, still it is good for worldly actions and getting ahead in the competitive world. Now for Aquarius, Venus in the 4th will cause a slight dosha, but it will be reduced because Venus is also ruling the 9th house. Unlike Aries ascendant where Venus is in the 7th is causing more dosha, Aquarius ascendant will not have that much because Venus has rulership of 9th house. But in the case of Aries, it is ruling the 2nd house. And then Saturn is in the Lagna for Aquarius will not cause dosha. Sun in the 7th would not cause. Mars in the 10th also would not cause any dosha. For Pisces, we already discussed. So all the ascendants are covered here. So check do you have benefics empowered in your angles and see whether the house results have been appropriate. Say you have Jupiter in the 7th for Gemini ascendant and see how your marriage has fared, because many times Jupiter in the 7th for Gemini ascendant does not give a good marriage or relationship because of the Kendradhipathi Dosh. Even in the 10th for Jupiter for Gemini ascendant, Jupiter in 10th will cause professional difficulties. So this was the explanation of Kendradhipathi Dosh, and there is a lot of doubt whether Kendradhipathi Dosha is real or does it work or does it not work. In my research, it does tend to cause damage, especially Mercury and Jupiter. Moon and Venus I have not observed it that much, but Mercury and Jupiter do cause a lot of trouble when they are in the 4th, 7th or 10th and in their own houses or exalted or something like that. Empowered benefics in 4, 7, 10 tend to do damage to the house significations. So I hope this video was helpful, and if you have Kendradhipathi Dosh, then see what you can do about that house. Maybe you should become more malefic in nature and get into action. So I'll connect you with